Hola, estudiantes de Español 1. Esta es la lección de la hora parte 2. Still working on how to tell time in español. Materiales. Necesitan los apuntes de parte 1. You should have your reloj or clock drawn and the notes from yesterday on there, or parte 1's lección. Y necesitan un lápiz. También el lápiz. We're going to be adding in more information on telling time in español. Saquen los apuntes y saquen el lápiz, por favor. Un repaso de parte 1. En parte 1 de la hora, de cómo decir la hora, we learned the question, ¿qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? Significa, what time is it? En inglés. And we have a three-piece choices, three-part choices that are going into telling time. Starting with la hora. We're going to choose either es la or son las. Who remembers how to make that choice? When do we choose es la? And when do we choose son las? Muy bien. Es la is for the 1 o'clock hour, so we say es la una. Son las is for every other hour on the clock. Son las dos, son las tres, son las cuatro, cinco, etc. Okay, so make your hour phrase choice and tell the number of the hour. Minutos. We only learned the right side of the clock, and we're connecting to minutos, from the hour to minutos, with the word y, and tell the number of minutes. Y cinco, y diez, y quince, etc. And we learned that we finish with the time of day, de la mañana, de la tarde, or de la noche. Okay, so that was our three pieces to put together a time en español. And to review that, let's try it out. Can you come up with these horas en español? Practicamos. Número 1, ¿cómo se dice it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon? ¿Cómo se dice 8:05 a.m., 12:25 p.m., 1:15 p.m., and 11:20 p.m.? So think for p.m., be careful. Is it afternoon or night? And then there's just the one phrase for morning. Okay, try that out on your own. Do your own practica. Pause the video and see if you can come up with these times en español. Okay, let's check your answers. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. En español, son las 5 de la tarde. 8:05 a.m. Son las 8:05 de la mañana. 12:25 in the afternoon. Son las 12:25 de la tarde. It's 1:15 in the afternoon. Es la 1:15. Or you could say es la 1:15 de la tarde. Reminder, we have two phrases, y 15 or y cuarto for the 15-minute mark, and two phrases, y 30 or y media for the 30-minute mark. Okay, and our last one was it's 11:20 at night. Son las 11:20 de la noche. So what happens when minutes go past 30-minute mark, right? So what are we going to say when it's the 31 minutes to 59 minutes on the clock for an hour? We're going to do a little investigation. So first of all, what do we see? I don't see the word y here with these numbers. Instead, I see the word menos cinco, menos diez, menos quince or menos cuarto, menos veinte, menos veinticinco. And where do we recognize that word menos from? Because we just used that in our test that we took with números. It means minus. Okay, so know that our connecting phrase now for minutes, once we go past the 30-minute mark, any minutes 31 to 59, we're going to connect with the word menos instead. Okay, now this is a very different thing that happens in Espanol. Telling time going past 30 minutes, we do something very unique in Espanol. So see if you can figure out what's happening with time when the minutes pass to the left side of a clock. So let's look at these times. If I wanted to say it's 2:45 in the afternoon, I would say son las 3 menos cuarto, or I could say menos 15 de la tarde. Okay. Next, 8:50 at night. Son las 9 menos 10 de la noche. Son las 9 menos 10 de la noche. Okay, and a last one to take a look at and see if you can figure this out. What's happening for 5:55 in the morning? We would say son las 6 menos 5 de la mañana. So see if you can come up with a prediction right now in your head. Can you figure out what do we do in Spanish to tell time when the minutes are between 31 and 59? Have you figured it out? Okay, so I want to connect to something we do in English for this concept in Espanol. Have you ever heard somebody say, it's 2:45, we need to get going, we have to be there by 3 o'clock, let's say. Or someone say, ask what time is it? Oh, it's 10 to 2. Okay, so if I say it's 2:45, in my first example, it's not really the 3 o'clock hour yet, is it? It's 2:45. And if I say it's 10 till 2, it's not really the 2 o'clock hour yet, is it? It's 10 minutes to 2. So the digital time would be 1:50. So we do this in English with those kinds of phrases in conversation. And that is the rule in Espanol, that we're going to talk about the next hour minus how many minutes from that hour. So it's like we're speaking in subtraction. Okay, so notice that for the first one, it says son las 3. So it's 2:45. I'm going to talk about the next hour. The next hour would be 3 o'clock. Son las 3. How many minutes minus 3 o'clock is it? Son las 3 menos 15 or menos cuarto. It's 3 o'clock minus 15 or minus a quarter. Okay, next one. If it's 8:50, because it's on the menos side, the left side of the clock, the minutes, I'm going to talk about the next hour. The next hour is 9 o'clock. Son las 9 menos 10. How many minutes till 9? 10. So I say the next hour, son las 9, and I subtract menos 10. Okay, and last one, if it's 5:55, I'm going to talk about the 6 o'clock hour. And how many minutes till 6? 5 minutes till 6. So I would say son las 6 menos 5. Okay, so know that we're speaking in subtraction. For the minutes between 31 to 59, we talk about the next hour and how many minutes until that hour. Okay, so let's try it out. See what you can do. Número 1, 2, 3 are menos side minutes. Remember, we talk about the next hour and how many minutes till that next hour. Okay, then número 4 and 5 are what we learned in Parte 1 lesson. So we're going to go back to the E side of the clock. We call right side E side, left side menos side. And you should have all of that written down in your notes. I didn't make sure to tell you, but you do want to add these phrases, menos 5, menos 10, menos 15, menos cuarto, menos 20, menos 25. Add those phrases to your clock, just like you had all the E and minute phrases on the right side. Okay, then try these out. Can you come up with these in Espanol? Pause your video to do that work and come back for the answers. Okay, let's check respuestas and see how you did. It's okay to still have questions about the menos side. It takes time and practice to get this business of speaking in subtraction with time. So if I wanted to say it's 6:35, I would say son las 7 menos 25 de la mañana. If I want to say it's 10:45 at night, son las 11 menos 15 or menos cuarto de la noche. To say it's 4:55, son las 5 menos 5 de la tarde. And now back to the east side. So notice with the east side, here we are talking about the next hour. We see the 4 o'clock hour, but because it's a menos side for minutes, we talk about the next hour, son las 5. But when we're on the E side of the clock with minutes, we talk about the hour we see. So we would say son las 2:30 or son las 2:30 de la mañana. And to say 12:05 in the afternoon, son las 12:05 de la tarde. Okay, we've got lots of practica to do with this, and we'll review in our lesson, lunes, lección de Zoom. So no, I'll be reviewing that with you also and take questions. So it's okay to have some practice to do with menos. It's a little tricky. But to recap, un repaso. En español, to ask, what time is it? ¿Qué hora es? And to respond with a time, we start with our choice phrase of la hora. Es la una, or son las for all the other hours, dos, tres, etc. Now we have two choices of phrases to move into minutos, connecting with the E if it's a right side of the clock minutes, connecting with the word menos if it's a left side of the clock minutes. Okay? And tell those minutos. And lastly, end with your de la mañana, de la tarde, or de la noche phrase. Okay, eso es todo. Adiós. Nos vemos pronto.